Alright everyone, it's Dragon back with another video. I'm going to be going over things that I wish I knew when I first started this game that I didn't know, because there's a lot of things this game doesn't really tell you, and you can get kind of lost in it. We're going to keep it very basic, very simple. I'll go into in-depth details with everything else in later videos. So for now, bear with me, and I'm going to be catering this towards gacha terms a little bit, so yeah, let's get started. In this game, like any freaking mobile game nowadays, we have a stamina system. Our stamina system basically makes it so that we can duel duelists and get rewards and get EXP and get experience. That's basically it. At the beginning of the game, you get 5 bars worth of stamina, but as you progress through the game, you get more, up to a max of 10, I believe. When you're playing this game, you can use either 1 stamina to get rewards times 1, or up to times 3 stamina, which uses 3 stamina bars, which will give me times 3 reward. For beginners, I'm going to say this. If you're min-maxing this game and you're trying to level up your account as fast as you can, never use times 3 rewards, use times 1 reward. Reason being is this. In the game, in order to level up your main world's account level, which is dictated by here in the top left corner, mission stage 34. What that means is I'm at stage 34, which is like level 34 in this world, and there are missions I need to do. Currently, if I want to level up this world to the level 35, I would still have to inflict 150,000 or more points of damage in battle. Right now, I'm at this number, and I need to do more damage. However, there's also going to be quests that's going to be saying like win 30 duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! And if I were to go to my regular duel list and click times 3 rewards, it's going to use 3 stamina, and if I win that duel, it's going to be 1 out of 30 duels completed. However, I could duel this duelist 3 times for 1 reward, and it will count towards my quest completion to 3 out of 30 instead of 1 out of 30. So rule of thumb, you only want to use 1 stamina at a time if you're min-maxing. The next thing that I didn't know is stamina only increases by leveling up the main world. What do I mean by that? So in this game, you start with 5 stamina right here. In order to increase your stamina cap, you can only increase your stamina by leveling up your main world. I believe it, I don't remember where the increments are, but I remember at level 30 I got to 9 stamina, and I think you get like stamina increases at like level, God, I want to say like 10, 20, 30, sort of like that, but I don't remember exactly. But what I'm saying is level up your main world and prioritize this over all the other worlds. What do I mean by all the other worlds? So once you get to stage mission level like roughly 9 in the regular main world of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're going to get access to other worlds. You're going to get access to DSOD, GX, 5Ds, and Zexals. These worlds are really easy to unlock. Zexal, I believe once you get to level 9, you just need to summon 2 level 4 monsters in 1 duel to unlock this world. GX, you need to summon 10 wind monster to unlock. GX, you need to summon 10 warrior monsters in duels to unlock. And I think DSOD just unlocks via leveling up normally. Nothing special that you have to do with this. Now, the trap that most people get into is they're going to try to level up these side worlds, quote unquote, when they have the chance. Do not focus your efforts on leveling up the side worlds. Focus most of your effort into leveling up the main world, because that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. The next benefit of leveling up your world higher is, well, these couple of reasons. One is the Pve Grind. There's this thing here called a gate, which all it basically means is it's basically a place where you can duel duelists to try to grind cards that you could potentially get as reward drops. At the beginning stages of the game, you only get access to level 10, 20, and 30. And all that really means is the higher level you go, the higher chance that a rarer card is going to drop. Once you get to stage level 30 though, you get access to legendary duelist level 40. Level 40 gets rid of all these trash cards that could drop from the Duelists, and it limits the pool of cards that can drop to these cards. There are still some pretty bad cards in here, but it limits the amount of terrible cards you could get. So basically getting to level 30 quickly allows you to farm more efficiently for cards that you would maybe want. Another reason why you want to level up to like level 40 quickly is this. Shark Attack. So throughout this game, there's going to be certain events where you can unlock new characters that are gated behind events. So if I go over to my Zexal world, right here, right now there's an event going on that allows me the access to unlock Reginald Shark Castell. He's locked behind an event, so there's no way to get this character except by playing the event. He's considered a roaming duelist. What does that mean? Well, roaming duelists are like event specific characters that you can get through event duels. These duelists only show up in the Duel Links world by chance. It's like a chance. It's literally a casino. But with the higher main world level, not Zexal world level, main world level, at like level 40, the chance of the roaming duelist to show up is like 60%, I believe. But at lower levels, the chance of him showing up is at like 30 to like 20%. The reason why that's important is if you want to grind out event for roaming duelists, and if you want to get like the duelist that's locked behind an event, getting your world level, your main world level to like level 40 increases the chance of these guys showing up. And all it really means is you get to unlock these guys faster, but also dueling these guys can also give you like rewards, like reward drops that you would get from farming the gate. Basically, if I show you right now, Shark Attack number appear. Castell will show up randomly on the map based off of the duels I duel. And if I win a duel, he has an odd of showing up. I can get these drops from the roaming duelist rewards the same way that I would get from dueling him in the duel gate. The reason why that's important is the duel gates require a event currency specific drop to use. So if I want to duel him at level 40, I need to use 120 of these currencies to be able to farm him at level 40. And at level 10, I would have to use 15 of these to farm him at this lower rank. If I switch it to reward times 1, it'll be 5 instead. But more often than not, you're going to just max it out to 3. But there are cases where you don't want to do that. So reason being, get your stage level as high as you can. Don't worry about it too much. Basically, getting yourself to level 40 is just going to be the most bang for your buck, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. The next thing that the game doesn't tell you is farming. So essentially, there's like a few ways in this game to farm, and there's nothing else you can really do. So one is farming EXP, another is farming cards, and the other is farming gems. So what's EXP? Well, EXP is basically whenever you duel with like a character, he'll gain EXP. And whenever he gains EXP, he's going to level up eventually. By leveling up, you're going to be able to get access to these rewards. And also cards you might need, but we're going to look mostly at the gems. Gems in this game is basically your premium currency that you'll be using to get more cards, or in this case like more 5-star heroes, 4-star healers from gachas, but essentially leveling up your characters is going to give you a lot of gems. So how do you farm EXP? Well, One is you duel your regular NPCs using your stamina. Two is you duel like regular legendary duelists that spawn randomly on the world map. These guys you can duel as many times as you want, but they only show up once in a while, and once you duel them, they leave after you lose or beat them. The next is gate farming. And gate farming is the most important thing. Right now specifically, there is an event going on for, shark attack numbers up here. For Reginald Castell, as I play the game normally, I'm going to get these tokens. These tokens are currencies I can use to farm up this event. So I can go into the gate and I can duel him at level 40, level 10, level 20, level 30. Rule of thumb, level 10 rewards times 3 for EXP farming. What does that mean? Because I get these tokens for free just by playing the game, I want to use these tokens at times 3 reward to level up my characters. Why do I want to do that? The difference between leveling at the difference at dueling from level 10 to level 40 is just the drops, okay? That's the only difference. There's no difference in experience. The only thing that's different is just the drop rate of your rare drops. So if I duel Castell at level 40 versus level 10, I'm going to get the same amount of experience as if I would be at 10 and 40. If I wanted to farm cards, potentially maybe I would duel him at level 40, but the cost is huge. I need to use 120 at times 3 reward for one single duel for me to get 3 times the rewards of this. And there's only a chance I might get his ultra rare. There's no guarantee, it's just a chance, and the chance is still technically pretty low. You're better off spending your event currency at level 10 times 3, because it's going to give you the same amount of EXP, and then you'll be able to get more EXP just by leveling up your characters this way. There are instances where there's going to be in-game events where you will be able to get times 1.5 EXP from gates and from duels. Right now, we currently have a double gate keys and gold reward. So basically what that means is during duels, like regular duels in Yu-Gi-Oh, we're just going to be getting more keys than usual. The reason why that's important is the keys that we get is going to be used towards farming EXP at the gate. I'm just let the game load up. Alright. So once I duel these guys, it's going to give me double gate rewards. And why that's important is once I farm up the gates, if I'm going to a non-event gate, these guys, for me to duel, requires me to use, keys. For me to then take advantage of the event, at least currently of what's going on, is I would use my stamina right now to farm up keys, so when there is a times 1.5 multiplier for EXP on duels, I can then use all my keys to duel Yami Merrick at level 10 times 3 to be able to get whatever character I want to the highest level. Basically, this is an efficient thing. More often than not, there's not going to be an event for double gate keys or 1.5 times EXP or 2 times EXP in this game. So for the most part, you want to be hoarding up those resources for those events, and when they do come up, use those resources to take advantage of the times 1.5 multiplier or the times 2 multiplier. But if you don't care about those events, because they don't always show up, I'm going to tell you right now, those events don't always show up. If not, just play the game normally and just grind the gates normally. Just go into your regular gates, just go to level 10 times 3 rewards and just level up your characters that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're talking about super min-maxing, wait for the event, grind then. The other thing that this game doesn't really tell you about, it's just the sheer amount of gems it gives you. So what are ways to get gems in this game? outside of playing the games normally and logging in and getting login rewards and doing event missions? Well, there is two main ways to get a ton of gems in this game. One is if you go into the duel trials, loner decks duels. Basically, if you click on any of these right here, what it will do is it's going to make you use this deck that the game provides you, and it's going to make you duel like a pretty easy AI, and once you beat that duel with this deck, you'll get 30 gems. The game provides you a ton of these decks, so that's a lot of free gems you can get. The other one is through duel quizzes. Basically, it's like a mini game where you're trying to solve a puzzle to basically beat the system. For example, in this quiz right here, all it's telling me is to destroy a spell card and it's going to give me 50 gems. Pretty easy. But like harder like level 3 duels, it's going to be like an actual puzzle where you're going to need to try to win the game in one turn, and it gives you a very specific setup. But this stuff you can YouTube pretty easily, so also free gems. In loner deck duels and also duel quizzes alone, you can get about, I believe, 5,500 gems. Like 5,000 to 5,500 gems. I don't remember the exact number, but it's around that. Also, via like character level up, which is your second main way of getting like gems. God, I don't even remember how many gems, but there's a lot of gems for grabs by just leveling up your characters. Those are the main ways of getting your gems. The next thing that I'm going to go into is the gacha system. So, up here, in the game, we're going to be getting selector tickets, like 5-star, 4-star selector tickets. The neutrals, the rare, the super rare, and the ultra rare, these ones, you can do whatever you want with them. I'll make another guide later on what to use it ideally with, but basically these ones, it doesn't really matter what you use it for. However, the thing that you want to make a big note of is this, the one with the freaking blue eyes on it. You are Dream Ticket. You are Dream Ticket, I'm going to tell you off the get-go, is a very, 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 very rare gacha selector. This is basically your ultra 5-star select the best thing character you want in the game. So, don't do what most people do. First thing you want to do is you want to click boxes. Second thing you want to do is you want to click filter here, and you want to be filtering by release date. What that does is it basically puts it so like the brand new cards you can get with this ticket comes up to the top, and the boxes makes it so that these are only cards you can get in the box. Two things to make note of when you're picking these cards up. There are structure decks in the game where these cards show up in the box and it's not worth it for you to get. What do I mean by that? For example, here, this big shiny monster, Dragoonity Knight Ascalon. I could use my super duper rare ticket to get this guy. However, this card I can get very, very easily in the game via a structure deck. What do I mean by that? In the game, there are structure decks here, which basically means I can spend like 1,000 gems and I'm going to be getting these cards for 1,000 gems. And if you take a look at it, Dragoonity Knight Ascalon, for 1,000 gems, I can get this card. But not only that, I can also get Vajrayana in this deck. So, what you want to make sure is when you're using the super duper rare ticket, you are not using it on cards that you can obtain very easily. For example, this card right here, Dragon Knight, Dragon Quest, you can get that card using a regular UR ticket. You don't want to be spending this ticket on a card like that. And like I showed you earlier, Dragunity Knight Ascalon is a card that you can get in that structure deck for 1,000 gems. So you do not want to be spending your ultra rare card or your UR Dream Ticket on a card like this that you can get very easily in a structure deck. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what card to pick. I'm just going to say typically, rule of thumb is you probably want to get yourself your staples, which are cards that you can use in just about any deck that's very useful. Drowning Mirror Force is very nice. One of is fine, but it's not very important. Your main priority in this game typically is you either get 3 Cosmic Cyclones or you want to be getting where is it? 3 Floodgates. Depending on how the game's progressing, you want to get like 1 Cosmic Cyclone, then a Floodgate, 2 Floodgates, 2 Cosmic Cyclones, 3 Floodgates, then 3 Cosmic Cyclones. The reason being is this. If you were to be like me and use your UR ticket on something like this, White Stone of Ancients, something like this might happen. So White Stone of Ancients is basically a card that's a really good card in a Blue Eyes deck. It's a very niche card in a very specific deck. The reason why that might not be a good use of your Dream Ticket is this. What's happening right now is around January 12, Konami's going to release a structure deck. Okay? The structured deck is going to include all these cards. You know, for 1,000 gems, I can get 1 structured deck. Or I spend $5 Canadian to get a second copy, and $10 Canadian to get a third copy of this deck. If you look at it, I have the White Stone of Ancients in here. So basically, the UR tickets that I spent to get 3 copies of these is now technically wasted because Konami is releasing a structure deck that's basically telling you, hey, for 1,000 gems you can get 1 copy of this, for $5 you can get a second copy, and for $10 you can get a third copy of this, which is really, well, it's a really feels bad moment because I spent like 3 tickets to get 3 copies of these when I could have spent those 3 tickets to get like 2 more copies of Cosmic Cyclone and another copy of a staple. So rule of thumb, get your staples. You can't really go wrong with it because if you don't get your staples and you decide to, you know, use your UR tickets to get something more specific, Konami might do this and release a structure deck, and it's going to give you your White Stone of Ancients, and also Card of Continents is also in the structure deck, which is a UR. Also, Azure Eye Silver Dragon. I spent a Dream SR ticket on that. So yeah, rule of thumb, get your staples, because if not, if you spend it on cards that you might want, yeah, it might bite you in the butt like this. Feels bad moment. Essentially, use your UR tickets to spend it on staples. Can't really go wrong with it. And the last thing that I wish I knew about this game is honestly YouTube videos like this. Let me explain why. The game moves really fast. Like actually really fast. With the cards that people tell you are good, I'm going to show you this. At the moment, there are very specific deck archetypes that are very strong, okay? If I go to filter popular cards, right now, if I showed you, these cards are all very popular in the game. And if I looked up a tier list for you guys right now, if I pop onto tier list, and if I go into, like, for example, Desperado, these cards are cards that you potentially would want in your deck, like Machina Fortress, Desperado Dragon, Twin Barrel Dragon, and what else? Invoke Neos is a very strong deck. You'll need copies of Alistair, Invoke, Neos Fusion, and whatnot. In YouTube videos, they're going to be telling you guys, oh yeah, you need like 2 copies of Alistair the Invoked, 3 copies of him, Purgatrios, and whatnot. I want you guys to be mindful of this. This is a really strong deck and it's been around for like a while. Videos will tell you back in the day you needed 3 copies of Alistair the Invoked and 3 copies of Invocation. And this was a really strong deck. And people used their UR tickets and spent their money to get like 3 copies of this guy, 3 copies of this guy. Then Konami did what, you know, any company did, and to balance the game, they nerfed the card. So essentially you can only have, well, a total of a combination of this and this 3 copies. So instead of being able to have 3 copies of this and 3 copies of that for a grand total of 6 of those cards, you can now only have a grand total of 3 of these cards mixed matched. So now how people play the deck is with 2 Alistair Invoked and 1 Invocation. Basically, all I'm trying to say is, if you look at tier lists, watch videos, and try to make the strongest deck, and use your dream tickets and spend your money to get a card like, for example, Invoked Purgatrio, this card may one day eventually get nerfed, restricting the amount of cards you can get, basically making it so like your second or third copy of the card you spent your hard-earned gems and money and UR tickets to get becomes wasted because you can no longer use that card at its max copy. So you guys should be, well, wary of stuff like that. But ultimately, these are basically the things I wish I knew before starting the game. Honestly, take advantage of it. You know, be smart. Don't feel like you're too pressured to play the game as hardcore as I do. Heck, I'm pretty casual in this game right now. And if you're wondering how much money I spent on this game, I probably spent like less than 100, so I'm still technically a dolphin. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the description below. I'll reply back to them as fast as I can. And honestly, there's a ton of resources out there for like decks, but for me, I play the game casually, try to play it for fun as much as I can. But yeah, hope this video helped you guys. Anyways, until next time, later.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god.